It's called Advanced Answering Techniques. So it is three professional people explaining to other people how to answer different questions, a multiple variety of questions. Advanced Answering Techniques.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Advanced Answering Techniques. I'm your host, Josh. I'm joined by Caleb.
Hi.
And Gabe.
Hey.
They're my brothers.
Yes,
but I'm not your brother.
You're not my brother. You're his brother.
Wow.
I'm his brother. I'm not, I just like to be selective.
We've got a crazy family.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It's complicated. You know what else is nuts?
Yeah.
Have you ever been watching a movie?
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. That's, dude, I'm glad you're bringing this up.
Have I ever been watching a movie?
I said Ben.
You ever been?
Yeah, I have. I've
Yeah.
been watching a movie before.
Yeah, and somebody does something in it that you're like, how did they
You're like,
do that?
how? Like,
Yeah.
didn't that hurt? Probably.
Probably
Yeah,
hurt.
did that hurt? Did that take strength?
Yeah.
The
How'd they do
danger,
it?
the level of danger involved didn't, deter them from taking on the stunt.
Because
or whatever.
sometimes they have to do these things multiple times to get it right.
Well,
So
that's-
how do they do it that
actually-
many times?
Now that we're talking about this, it did. I saw a video of Tom Cruise in the latest Mission Impossible movie driving. He's riding a dirt bike, and he rides it off of this cliff, and then the dirt bike falls away, and he's just flying.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then he pulls a chute, and he parachutes off of this
he's
thing.
flying,
Yeah.
and then he pulls a chute.
Yeah, and then he glides to safety, and
A chute from a chute?
Hold on. What
Like a
Caleb,
parachute,
Caleb, what are you having a problem with? Because I can't imagine anything that Gabe said that is hard to understand.
Well, when someone goes off into the air,
okay,
Right. They're flying.
they're flying?
or he's soaring. I don't know.
He's
gliding.
gliding through he's like, controlled falling.
Controlled falling.
Like in Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Falling
Yes.
with style.
Falling with style. Very
Okay.
good. That's not flying.
Yeah.
I mean,
you want to be in the Woody position.
Yeah, you want to be.
You want to
Woody?
be
Yeah.
Woody to Gabe's Buzz.
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
I've
well,
always been that.
That's. I don't know if that's actually.
Gabe's always loved Buzz. I'm a
I mean,
Woody
that
guy.
is true. I do love
like
Buzz
Woody.
Yeah, but he rides this dirt bike off and in the movie it looks like it's just a cliff, but it's actually in real life when they were filming it was a ramp that is assembled for this purpose so that he can get a clean jump.
Right.
It's very impressive because it is Tom Cruise doing it, and he is riding this bike, jumps off, pulls the chute, and he does this 6 times in one day.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It is astounding that he's doing this
incredible.
once,
That's crazy.
but doing it multiple times in a day
Yeah.
is pretty nuts. And it did get me thinking, everybody's so impressed with Tom Cruise. He does all of these, these stunts on his own. But I was just wondering, I think he's suicidal. I think he actually doesn't want to make it. He's like, well, I did it once and I survived, so I guess I'll go do it again. He's just kind of tempting. It's like he wants to go out doing the thing that he loves, maybe.
Yeah. That's a good point, because it would make sense if you get this thing without any major technical hangups.
Yeah.
It would make sense to maybe do it again.
Yeah. Right.
Twice kind of makes sense.
Exactly.
Right.
4 more times.
Yeah.
That's like
It doesn't make it because there's not really much of a performance involved.
Right.
Right?
It's just
He says-
executing.
He
things.
says after the first one,
I didn't
there
like
was a bit.
the look on my face
Well-
when I was falling.
There's a bit where he's like,
the wind caught my
Yeah.
I could have held
There
on
was
to the bike
too much
longer.
snot.
Yeah. And he has slight adjustments, I guess, that he's making. But I was just thinking, he wants to die. He keeps doing all these things.
Yeah.
And I know he's wearing a parachute, so it's obviously he doesn't have that much of a death wish, but they probably wouldn't let him do the stunt
Yeah, there's just
without
to
enough
begin
money.
with. So I just wonder if he chickens out. He's
Yeah.
hitting the altitude that
Yeah.
he needs to pull the chute, and he's like, okay, I guess I will continue to exist.
or
I
it's a
don't-
known issue,
yeah.
and the insurance companies
Yeah.
have been like,
It's like a remote
you
control.
need to have a remote control thing.
Make sure he does it. Make sure Tom does it.
Make sure he does it.
Make sure we get Tom back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's contractually obligated to not kill himself.
What,
on this.
what do you think the worst excuse that he came up with to do it again was?
My tummy was grumbling.
Yeah. You
I
might
don't
have-
know.
I think
like
he's like,
the
did you guys pick that up on the mic?
Right.
Yeah.
When my tummy
My
was
tum-
grumbling.
tummy
My
grumble.
Borborygmi.
Or he's like, it just wasn't. It wasn't enough. I didn't do it good enough, guys.
Yeah.
I didn't do it good enough.
I think I could have gotten extra 3 inches.
Yeah, a
on that.
little
Yes,
higher.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit higher. And it's like, well, Tom, it's
It didn't feel
1,000
dangerous
feet.
enough.
Yeah.
That time didn't feel dangerous
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Right.
it's not feeling dangerous for me,
Yeah.
it's not going to. That's the other trick there.
Yeah.
Then he starts doing it this many times. He gets comfortable.
Right.
Now it looks like,
It's easy.
is this actually that
Yeah.
dangerous?
Yeah, that is, I guess at the end of it, I was like, well, if he did it 6 times, it must not have been that hard to do.
Yeah. It's probably pretty
Like,
easy.
Must be
If Tom
pretty
Cruise
simple.
can do it 2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
6.
suicide by stunt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's just my theory. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, he does,
Honestly,
according to his
suicides.
religion, he is like promised like some pretty amazing stuff
Yeah.
Right.
in the afterlife. So, he's got a pretty good life here, I'm sure. But, you
Yeah.
know, it probably
I don't
pales
know.
in comparison to like a
To
planet
the glories
full
of
yeah.
Scientology.
Yeah, right.
Is there an afterlife in Scientology? I assume so.
Xenu.
He gives you or is that Mormon?
That's Mormon. You get a planet.
get a planet.
You get to rule
I mean, I
as a
bet you
god.
get something. There's got to be some kind of
Maybe.
the
Well,
Thetans.
we'll look
You get to
into it.
become.
Yeah.
A
I don't. Hey
Thetan.
guys, I don't want to get Scientology wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Let's not
Don't
make
disparage
assumptions.
the long
I want to
known
be accurate.
So,
traditions of
Anybody
Scientology.
interested? Anybody out there who's listening that's a Scientologist? Reach out. Let's have some conversations.
Let's get some
talk about
answers.
it.
Let's
Yeah.
get some answers. We have questions.
We'll
for
interview
you.
you
Yeah, you.
for a change.
if,
Yeah, Caleb. Earlier, were you going to say that pretty much every suicide is pretty crazy stunt?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. It's just a kind of insane stunt. You're like,
Check
the
this out.
stunt is.
That's why you leave. That's why you leave a note. You're like, check this out.
Yeah, look at my stunt. I mean, it's kind of. I don't think you need.
It's like
the
I
note.
meant to do this.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
doing it on purpose.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, you do want to leave a note. Yeah, if you're trying to do it.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
everyone
leaving a
knows.
note's just good practice. In
How many
general.
times? Like, what a bummer if you take like a huge dose of pills
Mm-hmm.
and you start feeling them all come on, and then you're like writing, or you forget. Oh shoot, I forgot to write the note,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and now you're trying to find a pen and paper, and then you die before
Yeah.
you actually write the note, and everyone just thinks it was an accident.
Yeah,
What a bummer.
yeah.
yeah,
That's such a bummer.
yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't come back as a ghost.
Everyone is like,
you
But
finished
now-
all your.
he
business.
wasn't trying to. He wasn't
that-
trying to.
Yeah.
Your unfinished
an
business is your
accident.
suicide.
That is a bummer. Yeah, that is a bummer if it's like you wanted it to be like, I made the decision. I decided not to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then everyone just thinks it was an accident.
Is this an alienated conversation?
It could be. I realized as we got into the Tom Cruise bit, it's not as great as I thought it was.
Why?
I liked it. I don't want
No,
you to
thanks.
back out on
No,
that.
I'm not. It's not that I. Well, it's just that I have no confidence in it. You know, that's kind of the main thing.
problem.
Well, you
is-
kind of went out there. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Hey, you know what? Let's take this bit. Let's do it 5 more times.
Let's see how it works after the
Yeah.
6th attempt.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just what I was thinking about this weekend. I
Wow.
guess.
Wow.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom.
Did you watch that film?
No, it was just a,
Just the
a video on
a
the
YouTube
internet.
video
yeah.
of the film.
Just well, because
Of
I
a part
was
of the film.
interested. They had a shot of the scene after the video effects and before, and
Okay.
so it's just a gray ramp,
Okay.
and then in the movie they make it look like the cliff.
Look like a cliff. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, and, that
That's
was
the right way to
interesting.
do special effects, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Make
right.
something look like a cliff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mainly, if it was
Yeah.
my dream world, and films are still being made, then
Hold on.
CG. It's my dream world, right? Which begs to differ, like,
It's up to you. No,
should
it's
we still have films?
Right, it's up
because
to you.
anything's happening. Do we
Right.
need films? Because
Gotcha. Life itself
life
could
itself
just
could
be
be
cooler.
cinematic.
That's a
basically. It's
question
my
that you
dream
would
world.
answer, so you
Yeah.
could decide if it's
Yeah,
your dream.
it's not
world.
for me to answer right now.
Okay.
But then yeah, like CG would be mainly just making stuff cliffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like for Lord of the Rings,
It's just like a cliff.
they have
There's like a cliff trying to get the ring
There-
back.
they'd have Gollum.
A
And
little
it's like,
cliff.
well, it was Andy Serkis when we were filming it, but now it's a cliff.
Yeah.
Cliff loves the ring.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
My precious.
Guys, it's time for us to get into this week's question. It comes to us from Elliot.
Wow.
What's up?
Okay.
You're
Both
just
names.
reacting.
But
Both
yeah, I
names.
just, how sensitive I am about personal
Oh, yeah,
information
yeah.
being shared.
Yeah, I'll
On the
bleep it.
podcast.
It comes to us from Elliot.
Yeah.
He's my son. My name's Josh Stevenson. I was thinking of sort of ways of introducing him.
Yeah.
I thought maybe we could say teen groom Elliot Stevenson.
Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
That's good.
Dad dwarfer. That's the way
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I feel.
Oh yeah.
I looked at a picture from Elliot's wedding, and I just did not like standing anywhere near Elliot in the picture.
Near
Just
your
looked-
son.
just look very small.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I mean-
insignificant. feel childlike.
He's your only son,
yeah.
and so you got a big one.
He's got the height of
Got a-
two sons.
Yeah. You got all of your son out in one.
Some of me wishes that I had two sons and they were half Elliot's.
Yeah.
What if that was a thing? There's just like a height amount of
The
Amount
amount
of
of son you could have.
height that you can bestow upon sons.
Wow.
And you choose.
Yeah.
Like,
you
oh, you
can
know
have
what?
one
Yeah.
300-pounder or three 100-pounders.
Yes. Yeah, man.
I like that.
Yeah.
But
Just having 301 pound sons. It seems like it would be so hard to manage.
there are aspects of it that are unmanageable. Okay, so let's listen to Elliot's question. It's a bit of a long one. One of the primary emotions that a parent feels in relation to their child is one of disappointment.
Oh,
Okay,
I was
yeah.
gonna say embarrassment.
Yeah. I mean that's what I'm used to engendering in my parents anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is, I'm kind of disappointed this is a
Well-
2-minute, 22-second.
And you do have a
Oh, wow.
punishment
That's
lined
cool,
up
though.
for him, right?
We do have a punishment. Yep.
222.
2 minutes, 22 seconds. It's fine.
222.
222. Okay.
222.
So let's go ahead and listen to Elliot's question.
I went to the dentist the other day. This is Elliot. I went to the dentist the other day, and in between the dentist putting her hands in my mouth, we were talking about how bad it is that kids are on their phones and on TikTok and video games and just stuck inside. And she was saying every time that she's outside, she just feels happy. It's just nice, except for when there's snow on the ground. But other than that, she loves being outside. It's just the best. And we were talking about that, and then we started talking about how I need to floss more. And I said, yes, I'm a bad flosser, Jill. And she said, that's okay. And I'll just give you this nice floss that'll make it great to floss, and you'll love it and you'll want to do it. And we'll put that in your goodie bag when you go here, when you leave. And right around that time, she got a phone call. This was towards the end of the appointment, and she didn't turn like white, but she turned a little bit paler, and we got very focused, and she went, okay, my kids are locked outside of our house and I need to go let them in. And I was like kind of sitting there confused, like, what's the problem? And she had to go. She said, okay, my assistants will help you finish up, but I have to go. And I'm like, what's the problem? Did you just lie to me about how great it is being outside? You don't want your kids outside? Also, who's going to help me with the floss? Do these guys even know about the floss that we were talking about? Spoiler alert, they didn't. So I stood there as they were finishing up. Nobody knew about even giving me a goodie bag. I'm not flossing. I'm still not flossing. But I feel bad because I just stood there and didn't say anything about it. I mean, the guys that were supposed to help me, they're not able to help me. I feel like I should have done something differently. What was it that I should have done differently?
What should Elliot have done differently? I think we've got a number of things we can cover before we get to that.
Yeah.
Kind of, what are your first thoughts, guys? Stuff that kind of comes up when you're listening to that piece of audio.
I thought it was surprising that you would have a conversation with your dentist.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds interesting. I don't know why you would do that.
You don't have conversations with your dentist?
No.
Okay. Do you not go to the dentist?
No, not really.
Yeah. It's hard. That would make it harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll call my dentist up.
You just give him a call.
Just chat.
Yeah.
How do these sound?
Yeah. How do my teeth sound?
They're feeling a little weird today, bud.
Yeah.
They sound
Let me
okay?
try the word conciliatory. Let's see how that sounds. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I kind of feel like, I found a barber recently who doesn't talk, which is like, that's like, I mean, I'm tipping,
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing 50% tips because of this.
Dude,
Like,
yeah.
I love that I can sit down, you just listen to your new metal, and I just get my hair cut, and I don't have to talk.
That is it.
So
That's it.
wait, you prefer listening to new metal instead of talking?
Yes.
That's a crazy bargain in my
That's
opinion.
a big takeaway for
It's
Caleb.
it's not good new metal. It's bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's better than me feeling embarrassed about things that I would
Right.
say
Mm.
in that context because I just never know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does seem like a great kind of industry for like mute people to go into.
Barbing.
Barbing.
Yeah.
It could be.
You just go like, I mean, it seems like tricky because if you did need to convey something
Right.
with your
Yeah.
hands.
I guess it would be good
Scissors.
if
Yeah.
you make a mistake. You're not going to be like, "Oops."
Yeah.
It's just going to
Just
be
go.
like,
They'll just be like,
well,
Is that what the mute? Is that how the mute sound?
but it is different because I understand. Like I just feel like it makes even less sense to have a conversation with your dentist because
Yeah.
of what he mentioned,
Right.
Yeah.
which is that she's going to be sticking her,
Her
hands,
hands
in your mouth.
actual
Yeah.
mouth,
Yep.
and
Right.
you can't respond.
Right.
I just go for it.
Yeah.
And just talk the whole time.
Just talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're asking me to do this, asking me to do that. Okay.
You got it.
I got-
and you're not even just doing one word replies. You're like, you're trying to find as many.
Yeah.
Sure thing. No problem, boss.
Yep, I'll do it.
Just make it into
Hands
a
in
whole
my mouth,
sentence.
just going for it. This is what you wanted. You're asking questions and then putting your hands in my mouth.
Yeah.
It's like it's too easy.
Yeah.
Some hygienists are like,
Yeah.
I've done this a long time.
New
Everyone's
metal.
so still.
New metal is old.
Yes, new metal is old.
You're not wrong.
It's getting
there.
old.
It's been around for a while.
Kid Rock.
What I wonder
Kid
if
Rock has to have his prostate checked. Think about that.
I guess I'm surprised that
He's
you
old.
apparently have already thought about this. I had never considered
He's
that.
getting old.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just a good, hey guys, any of our older listeners, male listeners,
Yeah.
after 45.
Yeah. He's
Gotta get
on
it.
stage
Gotta get it.
and he finishes bow at the bow.
Yeah.
Is that him?
No, he shoots a bunch of Bud Light up and goes right over the doctor.
Yeah. He's like, oh, got plans after this.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I know what a man is.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
one of them. So
Oh,
now,
he shoots. Okay, yes, I remember now.
yeah,
I
he shot a bunch of
couldn't-
Bud
yeah.
Light up after Dylan
I did
Mulvaney.
not. I was like, he's shooting Bud Light intravenously. That doesn't.
No, he shot it with a gun.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Bought a bunch of it, shot it
Yeah.
Yeah.
on TikTok or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this audio. It is. I get what he's saying. You know.
Yeah.
It's confounding when someone explains something and then they give you a position.
What their
that's-
principles are.
They're
Mhm.
like talking about it all, and then some situation arises and they're deathly afraid.
Yeah. I think my
And it's-
dentist doesn't really have any principles either.
Really?
I think it might be kind of part of the profession.
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, honestly, we have seen that to be true.
How much could you?
Dentists are one of the people that are most likely to commit suicide, as we talked about earlier.
Is that true?
Yes, highest suicide rate is for dentists.
Okay.
Um,
Amongst like, you mean amongst any profession?
yeah,
Really?
highest suicide rate is dentists.
Really?
Yes, it's nasty teeth to look at.
Can't say
Take another
that.
day.
Well, and their whole job, there's something fake about everything they do. They're
Yeah.
they're putting in fake teeth, replacing.
Mhm.
So it's like, what am I
They're
really
not
doing?
really
Yeah.
a doctor. You wouldn't go to them for most doctor things. You're
Yeah.
like, you just know about this part, not the other parts.
Yeah.
So
So-
yeah, it just gets sad. But then also drug stuff too, like nitrous.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. They have no morals. They're selling this nitrous to concert goers and all these different
Really,
people
that's
doing it
dentists.
themselves. Yeah.
Like in the fish parking lot.
Yep.
It's-
Those guys are dentists.
Their dentists
How
are
did they get
moonlighting. Yeah.
How
yeah.
did they get that?
Yeah.
Or a friend of a dentist.
They're a dentist with access to balloons.
Yeah,
They're
right.
just going to be out in the
Yep.
fish parking lot selling balloons full of
They
nitrous.
got those little gloves.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They
Right
just
there.
use the gloves.
Just
They
use
use
the
the gloves
Yeah.
for a quick bump.
Yep.
Yeah, because it gets suspicious.
Dentists are moralists. They're
Yeah.
libertines.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that so? DDS.
They shoot animals. Big
They-
animals. They go hunting trips.
That's true. That the one they shot a lion,
A
or did
lion?
they shoot Harambe?
It was a lion.
Was that
It was a lion. I don't think a dentist. They were like they had staff at the zoo
This kid
to
just
take care
fell in
of it,
that
but they were
gorilla
like,
enclosure.
there is a dentist here. We know these dentists.
They're like, we got to get animal control in here, and the dentist is like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I got him. Yeah, it
Yeah.
could have been a really bad situation. We just have to be thankful that Dr. Silverstein. Uh-oh. We may have just outed ourselves. That he was here, and of course that he had his trusty rifle with him.
Yep.
What he was planning he should do with it initially.
He was
We're not
gonna
sure.
kill himself,
He was
but then
he was
Yes.
gonna jump.
That he found something to live for.
shooting a girl.
Yeah, I was just glad I could be of assistance. And, not every day you think you go to the zoo, you're gonna come home with a trophy.
He's like, and then afterwards, he's like, "Oh my gosh, all this controversy over this whole thing. It's so stressful and crazy. I got to go on a vacation."
yeah,
I think
it
I'm
goes on
gonna
safari.
Gonna go to Africa.
Yeah.
What's that lion? The lion did have a name. What was the lion's name? Okay, we're not going to spend
Nope.
time on that.
Yeah, let's not.
Rick,
Yeah, I mean,
Rick,
I'm sure he gave him a name.
I think it was Rick.
is it Rick?
Richard the Lionhearted.
Hey, no, I just think Rick's a good name for a lion.
I agree. I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is confounding. I think, and the flossing thing I used to get.
You're better at flossing.
You're good at
now.
flossing.
I've determined
Yeah.
that the dentists are not lying.
Yeah.
It is good for your teeth to
I do
floss
have
them.
someone in my life who tries to convince me that
They're lying.
that it's some kind of conspiracy.
Yes.
And I'm like, what happens to me is I go in and my gums are bleeding
Yep.
as they're doing their work, and then they go, you should floss.
Yeah.
And I think, and then somebody says, well, actually, it's not proven that this, that, and the other thing you have to do. I'm like, I think they can tell them not flossing because my gums bleed and are inflamed.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a problem. And flossing will
I
help.
used to have sensitive teeth.
Yeah.
Like that were really
Yeah.
starting to get. I noticed this uptick in my teeth being more sensitive to cold and heat, and I made the decision to start flossing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And after I made that decision
it's
to
your
start
idea.
flossing,
Wasn't your dentist
I
idea?
got cues from the dentist.
Oh, okay.
For sure. They gave me some tips.
They were nudging you. In
I
that
got some
direction.
reminders, some gentle
you'd
reminders.
call
But
them
this
up.
was the time I was like, all right, I'm going to try this. And because I felt like my height, what I had been doing previously was not keeping
Sure.
up.
Right.
So I started doing it.
Works.
Everything started feeling better.
Yeah.
Wow.
After the hump, you do have to get through a hump.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
But-
I'm trying to figure out for myself the next time I'm going to go to the dentist, and a lot of it is predicated on me flossing really, really,
Yeah.
really religiously
For-
an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 weeks.
Well, mine is 2 months.
Really?
If I can make
I think
it,
that's overkill.
if I can make it 2 months, I think I'll be in a position where I can go to the dentist and decrease the amount of shame.
No.
Sure.
You just need 2 weeks.
No, I think it's going to be 2 months.
After 2 weeks, your teeth don't bleed anymore after flossing.
No, well, I find that it's even less than that. But for me, when I get back on the horse,
So wait, but what is your... Come on. Prove
Okay,
it.
all
Prove
right,
it.
all right.
Why
Prove
do you
it.
need 2 months? That's just a number you came up with?
no, but I think to let the whole system reset. It's got to take longer than 2 weeks.
No.
Can't be 2 weeks.
No,
Caleb,
because
you
if
just
you
have fast teeth.
if you stop flossing,
No, I'm saying
for
I'm saying the bleeding is done for me.
Sure,
It's
sure.
like a week.
people love this stuff.
Yeah.
What is wrong?
What's that?
Bleeding teeth.
Yeah, we're talking about bleeding teeth,
Yeah.
suicidal dentists.
It's just how
Hey,
it
it's
goes.
one of those episodes.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you feel good, sometimes you talk about stuff that
That's true.
you
okay.
feel emboldened
Yeah.
to talk about things that are. But whereas when you feel bad, when your life is negative,
You wanna
don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about dentists about to blow their heads off.
Right.
who shoot a gorilla instead.
I'm
I
feeling
wonder-
good.
see, I would
wanna
like to
talk
know-
about
I would like to know what if there's like a one method the dentists use.
Yeah.
Like maybe there is just
Yeah.
some tool they have that is just like
It's
it
too
makes
good
it
to
so
be true.
easy and
Yeah.
fine.
It's so easy.
like it's like, oh yeah, why wouldn't
Yeah.
I just do this right now?
No, become
Yeah.
a dentist, and
Yeah.
you make good money. But if you don't like it, there's always you can use the suction thing
Yeah.
to like
The suction thing sucks your soul
Sucks
out.
your-
so you
yeah,
just
right.
don't even. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
even a big deal. There's no
Um,
big mess.
One thing that there's no real mess. You just affect yourself metaphysically.
Yeah.
Yeah. The soul is gone. One thing that I was thinking about with this question, you go through this whole thing, you find that your dentist has no principles, lays out a principle. It's good when kids are outside.
Yeah.
Kids are stuck outside, and suddenly that's a huge problem. But one of the things that you realize in relationships with people that you don't do yourself any favors by not addressing it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
this is something that I don't mean you're going around getting into conflicts with everybody because you have to like deal with everything. That's not what I mean.
Right.
But I mean, if you're in a situation, if you're in a relationship with people, whatever that relationship is, could be an intimate relationship, could be a friend relationship, family members, whatever it is, you need to find ways of bringing things up with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just let it go.
Right.
So Elliot's question at the end is, what should I have done differently? That's one thing. I would find a way to bring this up.
Yeah.
And he's kind of he's kind of put it in the past,
Right.
and there's still something you can do about it.
What do you recommend?
I mean, he could write a nice letter,
Write a letter.
Okay.
Well,
write some kind of note.
here's,
Go
here's-
remain
that's not bad.
outside
Caleb,
of the
Caleb,
digital
Caleb,
field,
before you
the
get
digital
going,
thing.
Just wait, Caleb. Before you get going on a tear here.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is maybe that might be necessitated in some situations.
Okay.
Right? But in other situations, you really don't want to, like, writing a letter really is like a statement of, like, let's deal with this.
Yeah.
It's like some kind of intervention. Right? If you were like, hey, if you wrote your dentist a letter,
Yeah.
and we're like, hey, we need to talk.
Yeah.
Right? That is now your ways out of that conversation are very few.
Well, you're
like
not trying to get out.
No,
of the
but here's what I
conversation.
mean is you don't
You write someone a letter. Saying, we need to talk.
everybody's options are more limited.
Yeah.
You know what I
see
mean?
you're saying.
Whereas
Yeah.
in a more informal situation, you have more options, and you can make them put them in a situation where they don't feel so trapped.
Attacked. Yeah.
And they have many routes that they can go. That's all. So I'm sorry. Go ahead and talk about the letter.
No,
I just
I
want to
see
make
what
sure
you're
that
saying.
I just want to make sure that what I'm saying is.
It
getting
just seemed
across.
like he had put it in the past,
Yeah.
and that's fine. Because I guess the question could be like, let's save my letter writing for
Yeah.
later.
Well, but I
because
actually-
let's think about what he could have done differently in the moment.
in the moment.
Okay.
I
yeah,
agree. I
right.
agree.
Well, and I think what Josh is saying is true. You do need to bring stuff up because he did not bring it up in the moment. Now he's got an issue with the other staff there, rather than it just being between him and Jill.
Now it's ballooned. Absolutely. Now that it's not just a crisis between him and Jill. It's now there's this whole perceived like infraction that they've that they're involved with.
Yeah.
And it's like Elliot has an expectation that the staff are not even aware of.
Right.
That that they're failing that expectation.
Resentment is
without even
growing on
knowing.
Elliot's side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so,
Right.
this can all come out in a Yelp review or a Google business review.
Right.
Yeah, and this
or
isn't an
Facebook
important
recommendation.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
These are the things that you have to worry about as a dentist in this day and
online
age.
stuff.
So
Online stuff.
I guess it's not really. I don't actually think Elliot should have done much different.
Really? I think what you just laid out was a good
Oh, okay.
reason.
Yeah, actually, I do think that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
because
Well-
I think if he had just gone to his dentist, put his arm on her shoulder, and
Yeah.
said, "Jill,
Jill.
don't worry. The
Yeah.
kids are out. They're going to be outside for a little bit. Let's finish up with me,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you can continue.
Rem-
on.
Right.
Your kids are going to be fine outside. It's cold, I know.
Yeah.
But they're going to be just fine.
Yeah. Or even if she goes pale,
Yeah.
she says, "My kids are outside." You could say, "Oh, that's great, Jill.
Yeah.
Your kids are outside enjoying the day."
Yeah.
They must
Just
have
like
some
you
kind
were
of-
saying. This is
This is the thing. Also, it's like they're not even outside without a phone.
right.
They obviously communicated to their mother that they're locked out. And also, maybe this is a chance for your kids to be resourceful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure it out, guys.
Yeah.
What? These kids can have phones, but they can't figure out how to get inside a locked house?
Yeah.
That's insane. Look
Yeah.
up on the internet.
Look it up on
how
the
do I
internet.
get
Yeah.
inside
How
a
do I
locked
get
house?
inside?
How do I get inside my house?
Yeah. How do That's a common search.
How do I get inside my house? Trust me, it's my house.
The doors the doors are off and they're not turning on.
Yeah.
How do I
Yeah.
get inside my
Right.
house?
Doors set to the off position must be turned on.
How do
So-
I turn my doors on?
And also, I guess for Elliot,
It's basically like, how do I turn my house on?
Right.
As in a place where I live and am.
Yeah.
that place, that is what I consider home to be.
A place where I live and am. When my house is on.
I was wondering, for Jill's sake, also, Elliot could have brought this up. Like, how disappointed are her kids going to be to learn that she failed in her job of making sure Elliot got the goodie bag?
Yeah.
You know, like, wouldn't they
Yeah,
resonate
she shows
with that?
up.
Yeah.
And they're like, Mom,
I sure hope you took care of your
what's
last.
going on at work? I thought you
Yeah.
were at work.
Yeah.
Patient,
Yeah, but
yeah.
you guys said you're locked out, so I have to help you out.
Mom,
They're
don't,
like, okay.
don't worry about us. We're outside in the wonderful out of doors.
Wow.
Just as
okay,
you've
so
always done it.
why did
Right.
you text me, kids?
Right, and they're like, because we just wanted to be good children and let you keep you abreast of what we're doing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you.
Sorry, we didn't
No,
intend for this to distract you from your other responsibilities.
And
like
I'm one of the
making
other
sure
kids.
people
Wow,
And I'm
get
one of
okay.
the other kids. And we did give you a call because we did look up on the internet.
Yeah.
We have internet on our phones. We looked it
Yes.
up. It said, if you're trying to get into your house, you need to call your mom. So we're just doing what the internet
Right.
says.
Okay, another one
Yeah.
of these. So
Yeah.
you just do what the internet
You just
tells
do
you.
it the internet. We're just trying
Oh,
to
my-
follow the rules.
Oh, my beautiful children. How I've failed you.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say, Mom.
Okay.
Jill,
Oh, we've talked about this,
Yeah.
Amy.
Jill,
Amy, that's not what you call me.
you were in the middle of an appointment. Did you even ensure that your patient was going to get a goodie bag?
You know what? I didn't.
Yeah.
I can't believe I came out here to chastise you
Mm.
and help you get into the house, turn the house on.
Jill,
And I've forgotten. What, Rebecca?
I'm just curious if any of your patients maybe feel condescended to because by this whole goodie bag thing, because they are probably paying you, I don't know, thousands of dollars on a regular basis, and your gift back to them, a token of appreciation is a goodie bag.
A goodie bag.
There's
and
good
dental health, I suppose, but still.
I would say it's not just that, and you know that damn well, Rebecca.
Jill, I don't appreciate being spoken
I
to
don't
like that.
I don't either. I
Okay.
would prefer if you guys called me mom.
Well, that's not taking our feelings into consideration.
I guess so. But
Mama
people,
Jill, Mama Jill.
that's fine too.
Mama
I'll take
Jill.
that as a compromise.
Dr.
But
Mama
look
Jill.
here. We give the goodie bags because they encourage good habits.
Okay.
Switch out your toothbrush. You get a new toothbrush.
Yes.
Use this kind of floss. It's going to be, oh, drat.
Right.
The
There's
special-
actually a different kind of floss that we give to special patients, as in really special patients.
Like patients with special needs.
Yes. It's a special kind of floss for those patients.
Ah.
And so, and I promised it to this guy. He actually didn't seem that special, but then as I talked to him, I realized some things were
maybe yeah.
amiss.
Yeah.
And so I realized that he was
Yeah.
going to need some more guidance.
Yeah.
And I was going to give him this floss that does guide.
Yeah.
And did it
guides.
seem like his issues were born out of just like this is how he is naturally, or is it more of like the environment that he grew up in that resulted?
It seemed
in
like
these sorts
he
of
had
problems?
made significant efforts to
Okay.
sort of go the right way, but
Yeah.
had been impeded
By-
again and
Are you sure?
again in his
Are you sure
life.
it's not? Are you sure like a mouth breather, right?
Definite mouth breather? I could see it. I could see it happening.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
he's just that way.
I could see it. He's that way, but it
Okay.
seemed like he was trying to get out of the mouth breathing, and then I'd hear him mumble something about needing a father figure that didn't-
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
that
Well,
would
and
help him not mouth breathe.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. He
My-
it hadn't been able to find one amongst any of his uncles either.
No.
He
Doesn't
said
sound
there
like
had
it.
He
been
said he
some.
mentioned
said
there's a
that
plethora
there
of
was-
uncles and none of them
There
really.
was. He said there were several uncles. One of them seemed like they could have helped him,
Right.
but his father had kind of
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
dissuaded him from associating with that uncle too
Yeah.
much.
Gotcha.
That's what he was telling me.
Okay.
Now, my sweet, sweet girls.
Yes, Jill.
Yes.
Yes, Mama
yes,
Jill.
Mama Jill.
Yes, Dr. Mama. Actually, I don't like to say doctor. It's a DDS. It's not really a.
It's true.
I'm not a doctor. I
not
wouldn't
really
say
much
that.
of a doctor.
Yeah. Yes. Let's get you guys inside, and you guys can go get on your phones.
Sounds great.
Me? I'm having a great time.
Thank you for
Standing
this
outside.
conversation.
No, it's out. With being outside.
Turn the door on. Get you guys inside. Goodbye. I love you. I got to go back and I'm thinking I might do something special at the dentist office. I've got some special plans.
Listen,
I hope you guys are fine. Love you. Bye.
No. Just wait.
What
Just wait.
will
Just
you
wait.
be
Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait.
What?
We love you too.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yes.
With her, and we also can't get into our house
Right.
consistently.
Yes. Yes.
So we need you around.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. We have a problem
That kind
with
of
some of the basics.
Kind of
like,
ruins my plans for later.
we just have, some of the basics like getting into our house, tying our shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breakfast would be an issue.
Breakfast is an issue.
Yeah.
You're not going to just do the Pop-Tarts?
Cleaning
No.
up. Cleaning
I actually,
Hygiene.
if you guys noticed, I got you a huge amount of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. Plenty of Pop-Tarts.
And bunch of Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
Which is
You
surprising.
guys should be taken care of for a while until you get on your feet.
Thank you, Mama Jill.
Thanks, Mama Jill. And scene. And that is that's one way that things could go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so kind of the thing that I would want to point Elliot to is try to be more on top of these kinds of situations. Look for opportunities early to say what you think.
Early is good, but you also have to know when to do it. If you do it right away, it's
Well,
like you're jumping on it.
But what I mean is the earlier that you can bring it up, the less emphatic you can be.
It's true.
That's true.
The
If you
more-
react in the moment, whereas if you have to bring it up later,
Yeah.
there's
But
no
you don't
way
wanna
that you're
look
not
like a-
highlighting it.
You don't want to look like some kind of weird little baby who's like, "Where's my floss? Where's my floss?
Yeah.
I need my floss."
Yeah. I mean,
Hey,
I,
just wanna
wait, you
make
said about my
hey,
floss.
Hey, just want to make sure I got
What
a
about my
special
floss?
in my goodie bag.
yeah,
Yes.
please. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I need a
don't want to
special
be an
floss
adult,
in my
man.
goodie bag.
Where's that special floss in my goodie bag?
but that is like, if after she leaves, I do think there's an opportunity there. The new people
Yeah.
come in and you say, "Hey, Jill just mentioned this. I know she's got to go take care of her sweet girls, but
Yeah.
she did mention the special floss that
That's
you guys have.
the biggest failing, in my opinion.
is
Yeah.
at that moment.
Did he even realize,
Yeah.
Jill's not going to be around to remember the floss?
Right.
But then he realizes it and she's already gone.
Right.
And then the other wait staff is there and he's like,
The other wait staff.
yeah, they're wait staff.
Yeah. How was
Have you
your
ever
burger?
eaten at have you guys ever eaten at a dentist?
Did you enjoy your?
How was your root canal?
So minty.
How we
Yeah,
doing here?
they're putting mint into insane things at
Yeah.
dentist office. It's like their whole. It's like a cult of mint at the dentist office. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Mint freaks.
But yeah, you could just go and talk to the other
the wait
helpers,
staff.
the other helper guys, helper women.
Right, the assistants, the dental assistants,
dental
hygienists.
assistants.
I'm Jason. I'll
Yep.
be your server today. He's like,
How about some
little
teeth? How about a little bit of your own teeth for you?
tiny
How
little
about
chips
some
and bits
dust
of your teeth?
of your teeth for you?
And
And with a side of
would you like
blood.
your own blood?
Would you like to hear our specials?
And then also some drugs.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's the biggest failing to me is not when you remember it going, oh, hey,
Yeah.
she had mentioned a special kind of floss for me because I'm a retard when it comes to floss.
And yes, so she mentioned a special floss in my little goodie bag. I've noticed I simply don't have a goodie bag.
Yes. That's all. I noticed.
I was going to take a look in my goodie bag to see if
Yeah.
you left the floss
Floss
in
in
there,
there.
but I was having trouble finding my
goodie bag.
Locating my goodie bag. If we could together work on a solution, locating my goodie bag.
perhaps
Just the most
I don't know if the special
patronizing.
I don't know if the special floss was on the ground and you dropped the goodie bag
bag.
upside down open on top of the floss and now I could have that.
What if I could have that?
Could I? Could we? Or you could just get floss and put it in a bag and give it to me.
And look, I understand maybe you don't
No.
like how I've acted in this dentist office. Doesn't seem apparent to me, but even if I haven't acted appropriately and you don't want to give me a goodie bag, something you might give me a baddie bag.
A baddie bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elliot is something of a baddie.
He's a baddie. He's a total baddie.
Batty bag.
Yeah, yeah. They see him. They see him walking. This guy's not getting a goodie bag.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it does feel a little bit patronizing to get a goodie bag.
Yeah,
But I always
think so.
appreciate it. But I feel like, so I feel like you could do that differently.
Yeah.
You could talk about it a little
Yeah.
bit more sooner. Just take charge in your life.
Take
man.
charge in your life. Try to be the kind of person who, as things arise, you react to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Try to, with tact and all that. It's a learning process. Takes a long time.
And who's tact?
What's that? Howard Tact.
no.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
a president.
Tact, okay.
Yeah. He was the big fat president.
That's how he got in.
Yeah,
The being president. Just
plenty
tact.
of
Just
tact.
lots of tact.
No shortage of tact. Big guy. Big guy.
Generously acquitted.
Oh, generously, he was
He acquitted him of what?
part of the Confederacy.
I didn't acquit him. I didn't acquit him.
Acquitted of what, Josh?
Problems with some things that he did.
Generously was not as generous as it could have been.
But so takeaways, guys. I feel like we've
I
kind
do
of
them sometimes, but I'll eat in sometimes too.
Yeah.
What?
I like it.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
I've asked the question.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I mean, my takeaway, like I said, one way that you can resolve this too, you go back later, even in person, and just say, "Excuse me."
I just want to remind us what a takeaway is.
Yeah, well, this is
What's
my
a takeaway?
takeaway.
Okay,
this
I'm sorry.
is what you do.
I'm sorry.
You messed up in the moment, and what could you do in the future? That's true. But
Yeah.
what can you do now about the past?
Right.
And you can go and you can go and talk, and you can say, "Listen, I know I was just in here. I didn't get a goodie bag or a baddie bag,
Right.
and my special floss was in. I couldn't even tell if my special floss was in either because I didn't get it.
Just didn't know.
Okay, so
Honestly, it doesn't matter.
you
at
can
that point.
resolve this
Yeah.
still. This is still within the realm of
Right.
resolving.
Isn't
It is
that
going to take you
interesting?
humbling yourself a little bit.
Language and dealing with relationships is kind of like time travel.
Wow.
Because even if you don't, now listen, I think there are repercussions for not dealing with things as they occur, right?
Yeah.
Because then you do have to get back into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to bring it up and you have to address it more specifically, right?
Right.
But what a gift that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be able to go, hey, remember this thing? Let's travel back
Yeah.
in our memories,
In our memories,
through
yeah.
time.
Right.
121 gigawatts, right?
Oh,
And we're going
yeah.
to get back to it.
And I was going to say Time Traveler's Wife. That's like a whole other
Right.
level of it's like relationships and actual time travel.
Right.
Rifle through the
Wow.
goodie bag of our memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see what special floss we can find to to loosen the plaque of
Maybe,
this,
of conflict.
Yes, the plaque of conflict.
The plaque of conflict, or
Yeah.
even fashion some kind of hardy rope out of the floss in
Yeah.
order to make some
Out of
kind
the floss of solution.
floss of some kind of hardy rope that you could make and fashion into
Yeah.
some kind of
Like a
noose, of
noose that
some
you could
sort.
hang the conflict with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing we'd like to do as we reach the end of an episode is to talk about the techniques that we employed to kind of give them a little more shape so that people can employ those maybe in more abstracted situations that they find themselves in.
I think can we add something to this? This is just a moment of inspiration.
Okay, sure.
And it's
Well,
not too crazy.
Let's not
hate
commit.
to-
We're not going to commit to it right away,
Sure,
Caleb. We want to hear it though.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if we give our listeners missions?
Give them missions.
Okay.
We give them missions, ways, practical ways they can employ what we've talked about,
Okay.
the techniques we've talked about.
Okay.
And we want to hear back on how it went.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm not saying they have to do it.
These are, let's not call them missions. Let's call them optional exercises.
Yeah.
Okay.
helpful.
I think missions is cool. It goes in with the
You
whole
think-
Tom Cruise thing, Mission Impossible. These are impossible.
Which has been a stalwart
okay.
of
Okay,
our-
fine, fair. This is mission optional.
There you go. I like that. Mission optional. And it's like, yeah, they're not important. But they might be good for you.
Might be useful.
Yeah.
Could be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so the
Okay.
techniques.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gabe?
What? Oh, what was
Techniques.
used?
You had a bunch of techniques.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is important to never feel like just because somebody has a bunch of letters after their name that you can't maybe offer practical advice like, hey, could you tell on your way out, could you tell them about the floss in the goodie bag?
Yeah.
You know, because what I hear when I hear Elliot, I hear somebody who wants to floss, who wants to do better, who wants to improve himself.
Yeah.
So he should take that action in that moment. And I think part of why he didn't was that he was feeling. Wait, hang on.
Intimidated.
You know, this person has a degree.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but don't when you're in that situation.
They
just
don't have a
let that.
degree in giving you floss and remembering to
No,
give
I
you
mean
a
I
goodie
think
bag.
they probably have a whole semester on that in dentist school.
I mean, they might in like prescribing it, but in actually getting it into your hands.
It seems like a huge part of the job, Caleb. We were talking about how they're always telling people to floss. They
Yeah.
must cover it extensively in dentistry.
It could
Yeah.
be. It could be. You're right. I'm sorry. But my point just being that they have the knowledge, but not all the practical maybe ability to juggle
Okay.
all these things when their personal life comes into contact. They're just a person like you, dude. Don't be intimidated by these people.
that's what I'm saying.
Right? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
okay. Great. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know
But that's
why.
not really the technique of how he answered the question.
right.
They're not special. You're
Yeah.
special, and
Yeah.
so's the floss.
Yeah.
Yep. The technique
you.
for how you answer the question is sometimes you have to actually inhabit these people. Inhabit someone
Yes.
that's part of this scenario.
Right.
Yeah.
So that you can get a deeper understanding for where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to take on the roles,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
of President Tact.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's plenty.
That's
of roles.
Lots
that
of
is
roles.
that's really where I'd place the emphasis is to take on the roles of President Tact.
But
So
yeah,
that's
so
part.
that's,
That's the mission that I would if I was giving somebody mission optional.
Okay. Mission optional.
yes.
This week and
Role play.
One of the things that happens with mission optional is like you get like your little cartridge.
Yeah.
And you're hearing your message.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then at the end it goes, you can throw this away if you want.
You can throw this.
this
You can throw this away.
message can be thrown
Keep
away.
it. Keep
can
it.
throw
It
it
doesn't
away.
matter. Anyone can hear this.
Seriously,
It's not
leave it.
important.
Just, no, actually, no. Just leave it around. Maybe somebody else will hear it. Maybe that's kind of what this whole podcast is like. Oh no,
Don't throw it away.
Oh, it's not going to self-destruct. It's not going to be. There's not going to be like a puff of smoke, a little flash. It's just leave it on.
Yes.
Just let somebody else hear it.
Just leave it on. Leave it on. You don't have to be listening to hear.
No.
You know, at night.
Yeah,
Put this podcast on.
that's true.
And go through all the episodes every
Ooh.
night.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. No, I would prefer not to have the statistics artificially inflated. It doesn't,
That's,
would we
do
know?
me any good.
What? How would we know?
It's optional. It's not like we're making people do it. So if there is an uptick, we'd be like, well, maybe we're just catching a little traction here, or
It could be. Could be.
you know,
Speaking of catching traction, one of the things that has been happening, and I'm trying to do better about this because we have a very faithful commenter,
Yes.
Cyrus,
True.
Man who is
yeah,
beset by dogs.
yeah,
In an episode earlier, has been leaving comments. So I wanted to make sure that we dealt with those. On episode 14, Dark Thoughts, we asked the question, the coolest dark thought you've had. These are on Spotify that
Okay.
these questions are asked. The coolest dark thought you've had. And he said, his answer was, this was like mucus to my ears. I assume that's the episode.
yeah.
Ah.
Darkest thought, your favorite food can never love you back.
Ah.
It's a good,
I would disagree.
You don't think that's the darkest
Well,
thought?
if you have a particularly nutritious meal that is your favorite food, in a way, it is loving you back. It's
That's
giving
a good
itself
point.
for the benefit of your life to be
That's a
be
good
benefited.
point. That's a good point. It is.
Yeah.
I think what he means is like you are like if you love pizza,
Yeah.
you're going around being like, I
I
love,
love
pizza.
pizza.
Yeah.
You're putting it out in the world.
Yeah,
You're
it's
up.
true.
You're screaming it from the rooftops.
Mm-hmm.
I love pizza. I don't care who knows it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And your pizza can never return intimacy that way.
That would be
That's true.
honestly though.
But I agree with what you're saying. That it would be ridiculous to think that
Maybe this
food
isn't-
doesn't love you in its own way.
Right.
Maybe this isn't a dark thought, just kind of a scary thought, but it would be pretty terrifying to me if I did love pizza and a bunch of pizzas were saying they love pizza. That's true. That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
And that is
Someone
a dark
just
thought.
makes a
Yeah.
pizza and it's like, oh, I love
Right. The last time I went to the dentist,
Yeah.
I did have that experience.
Really?
Yeah. I was under anesthesia and I had that experience.
Really?
And food was yelling out how
Food
much it
loved
loved
you.
you.
Food was loving me. It was telling me it loved me.
Oh my
No way,
God.
really?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
I
Wait,
thought that was
that's
a
not
big
true?
lie.
It's a fake lie.
Big fat lie.
Wait,
I've been
made up.
influenced by dentists.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I hope that
To
you
be fake. And
follow
Yeah,
that
yes.
influence through all the way. No, I don't, Josh.
Yes, please.
No, I
Josh.
don't. No.
Please.
Josh, I don't.
It's all right.
Josh got very sad when I intimated that I wanted him to
Yeah.
act like a dentist.
I would say that I went white and my face
Yeah.
fell.
That's
Yes.
true.
Episode 15, this was the wrestling episode. We asked the question, we get you in a triangle choke. What's the first thing you say when you regain consciousness? And Cyrus's answer was, I forgot all my vocabulary.
That can happen with a loss of oxygen to the brain.
It can.
Yeah.
And that's a reference, I believe, to a previous episode where we talked about his vocabulary.
Yeah.
Yes, it's extensive vocabulary.
Yes.
Well, it
Shocking
does seem
vocabulary.
Shockingly,
extensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so there's a lot of it,
Yes.
and it's surprising what
And
it is.
it's things that you would hope that,
Yeah.
you know,
Young men,
a
don't
young man
know.
wouldn't
yeah.
say.
Sure.
Yes. But I mean, so what he's saying is he woke up and
Depends.
he couldn't think of any
yeah, the triangle,
exclamations.
losing consciousness with a triangle choke,
Yeah,
yeah, left him
that's a bummer
bereft.
because you can't wake up and go, "Wowie!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go, gee whiz.
You can't wake up and go, "Cowabunga!"
You could.
I mean,
You can't because he forgot all his
Oh, he
vocabulary.
for-
Oh, all
his-
vocabulary.
all vocabulary.
Yeah, I guess he does
Well,
say
those are all
I does-
exclamations.
Yeah. That's all my Yeah, that's right.
So
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. You can send in your questions to advancedansweringtechniques@gmail.com. We're looking for an audio file of some kind, about a minute in length.
We'll take twice as much.
Some people will really play fast and loose with that recommendation.
Yeah.
But yeah, about a minute in length.
Yep.
Elliot's in the sin bin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's a
Mm-hmm.
he's a baddie and he's in the sin bin.
It's true. Batty can't change its stripes.
Floss your teeth.
Yeah.
Floss your teeth.
Floss your teeth.
That's the only way you should be like a dentist.
Yes.
No one be like a dentist, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. If you feel like you want to be a dentist, there's a hotline
There's
you
a
can call.
hotline you can call. Get help.
I'm
help.
thinking about
Seek
being
help.
a dentist.
We're one of the only.
Yeah.
We are one of the only podcasts that doesn't have sponsorship from BetterHelp.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But you know that's a service that I guess is out there.
yeah. You could use that service. I would suggest not. I think it's all BS.
Yeah, I
but
do too. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better help. Better help yourself to.
This gun.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
again, that's not. We're not so
Hold on,
against
hold-
better help.
on.
We're advocating
If
the opposite.
yeah.
Better help. Okay. Better help yourself to this peanut butter on this gun.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Have a lick of peanut butter.
Yeah.
What? It's on the end of a gun.
Which would be that would be an actual death sentence for me.
Yeah. Yeah. the peanuts might be worse than the bullet. So.
Right.
I think, given
Oh
a
my
choice
gosh.
between the two, I'd like to see.
I think I'm
how I
having a-
handle
You
a
take
little
your
peanut
chances
butter.
with the
Yeah.
peanut
That would really
butter.
suck to be allergic to lead too. You get shot and then go into anaphylactic
Yeah.
shock.
Shock from the bullet lodged in your heart.
I can't breathe. Right. Yes. Thanks.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The hangman checks the name again, can only move ahead. This says Tom and that was Tim, but the past is done and dead. What should I have done differently? Which way should I have turned? The switch so flippantly, the bridges all been burned, 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 burned. The hangman paces up the hall, chasing might have been. He runs his hand along the wall, the full size not again, again. What should I have done